Hello, hello. So I recently won the Coin Masters and I found four very interesting hands. And especially in these days where people are always so confused about GTO and trying to play their ranges and being balanced, which I think is very bad, especially when you run deep. So there are going to be four very interesting hands where I just try to play as exploitative as possible. And you will see that we're playing against players, even if they're regulars, that are very often also deviating. We're going to be playing here also against some recreations. The first one, ace-9 suited. The kind of open raises, obviously recreational, so we'll be very careful defending here. Ace-9 suited is clear defend. Now, once he bets half pot, I think it's usually strong, but it's not strong. So I don't think it's often queens or pocket sixes or even aces or kings. I think it's often something like jacks or tens. I see this as a very typical pattern amongst recreationals. They have a hand where they're afraid to play turn and rivers. I mean, there could be some king queens, similar, they don't really know how to proceed on a 4 or 7. But I think it's more likely ace king very often, and then something like pocket eights, pocket nines, pocket tens, and that's very important to keep that in mind for later streets. So I think here I would be very careful, and I would only proceed with hands where I can still hit something decent on later streets. So I wouldn't just float here with 10-7 of diamonds. So I at least want to have an overcard and then take it from there. So I call, and this is a very interesting turn. So here we're deep in a tournament. I think it's like final 2 tables. And for a lot of the recreationals, when they spend $100 and there's already thousands of dollars on stake, they're gonna be playing quite scared very often. Obviously, you also have those maniac recreations that don't care, but they're rarer than the more scared, money scared recreationals. So I decided to lead here. It's a good card for me. We're gonna have more 2 pairs. We're gonna have 4, 5, 3 suited, 6, 3 suited. We're gonna have 4 sevens. And the most important part for me here, if the cutoff does not jam, so recreational, where if he has kings or ace queen, they just jam it in here, which I think is also good because we're gonna have some pretty high equity hands like 5-7, 4-5. Maybe we floated a king 7 of spades and now we lead. So I think if he has something like ace queen kings aces, so very often now we can define the range really well. And once he calls, the strongest hands I see in his range is queen jack, queen 10 diamonds kind of hands, maybe king queen ace queen diamonds, and then a bunch of 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, ace kings, obviously with the diamond, ace jack diamonds, ace 10 diamonds, ace king diamonds, maybe random ace 5, ace 6 suited that still calls one more, but again, a very weak range. And now, especially when the flush draw breaks, keep in mind now our opponent has like 10, 15, 20% of the time a calling hand, like a clear calling hand, something like queen 10, which I don't think they're going to fold. I mean, it's deep in the tournament. You never know. There's a bunch of 2 pairs. Our 4x bluff gets there. We still have 7-8 and 8-9, but then he's going to have a lot of auto folds. And we always want to bluff in these auto folds. I always teach people, hey, try to avoid big bluffs, especially in the first half of the tournament. People have a lot of chips, but here in this stage, where a lot more money is at stake, also recreational start folding. So I think it's a very good spot to bluff here and get him off ace king, ace jack, pocket 8s, pocket 9s, pocket 10s. And I think there's even a chance that queen 9 or queen 10 folds here from time to time. So we also block some. No, we don't block queen 9. But these are the spots where especially the turn call gives a huge tell that he's not strong. So I would bluff a 4, I would bluff a 7, I would bluff an 8, I would bluff a deuce. I think even a 10 is good. I would avoid bluffing an ace, a king. I mean, ace, we can maybe block bet small. If an ace comes, I would bet fold 4 big blinds, I think. Just 4 or 5 big blinds. To get value like from a random queen. Or if he's like making looky with pocket 10s or something, we bet 4 big blinds in 24, maybe 3 big blinds. So he stays over the 10 big blind threshold. So yeah, very interesting hand. I really like the bluff here. Ace 10 off.